Hello and welcome back to Stay Plugged In. My name is Sheridan, and today I'm here with the Knight, a Rocket League player for Arcadia University.
My name is Nicholas. My gamer tag is Knight. The school I go to is Arcadia University, and I am going into my second semester as a freshman.
So, how long have you been playing Rocket League?
Rocket League, I've been playing the game since it came out back in 2015. I've been playing it for, I guess, around 7 years now.
And how did you get into Rocket League?
I kind of just saw it. At the time I played on like a MacBook laptop, and I just saw it on there, and I was like, "Oh, this game!" It stood out from any other game I'd seen before, so I was like, "I might as well give it a try." It looks like a lot of fun, and I got hooked on it instantly.
Prior to attending college to play esports, did you think that esports was in your future?
I thought there was potential for it. I got pretty good at the game, but I definitely had a feeling that I was starting to see the college scene was growing, and I had a feeling like if I had a chance of going pro, it would probably be after college, and college would probably do a good job at setting me up for that. So I started looking more towards the college scene or the collegiate scene, and I kind of had a feeling that there was a future ahead for me in it, but it was a little shaky at first.
How did you learn about college esports?
So it actually started with a group of my friends that I used to play, and I played in a couple LAN tournaments with. They actually introduced me to Spin, and that's when I started like learning more about the colleges. Because at the time I was only looking at a few small schools inside of North Carolina, and I didn't really have too much of an idea on what their teams were like or anything like that. So I talked to my friends about it, and they told me about you guys. So I decided to sign up, and I played in like the first beginner leagues that you guys hosted.
Tell us about your recruitment experience. What was that like from start to finish?
I knew esports was going to be a big factor when I was choosing what college I wanted to do, but I was also looking like at everything on the colleges, like just campus life, the size of the college, what the academics were another big factor for me. I'm a computer science major, and I wanted to make sure the college I chose had a pretty good computer science program. So esports was definitely a big factor, but I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't completely centered around esports because I wanted to make sure the college was going to be good for me in general. So that's what it kind of came down to when looking at it, finding a good team that I meshed well with, but along with all those other things. The recruitment process with Spin was really good. You guys connected me with countless colleges, so many. I had like directors from like places I wasn't even expecting to reach out. Like I was trying to keep my range to like closer states like Virginia, and I started getting I was getting reached out from I don't know like Florida, California. There were some far away colleges that I just their directors were just like I want to set up an interview with you and just talk with you and see how you are as a player. So it was nice. It definitely helped my options. It brought in my options a lot, and overall gave me a lot more insight on colleges I had no clue even existed before.
And how did Spin help you through that process?
Spin did a great job. They connected me with the coaches, explained like who they are, what college they were representing, and helped me to like get to know them instead of just throwing me a random contact and saying, "Here you go." So like they introduced me to the colleges and the coaches and helped me get a good idea of what their programs were like before I even really talked to the coaches in general.
Tell me about the esports program at Arcadia.
So our program is kind of new. I think it's like 2 or 3 years. I might be wrong on that, but it's pretty new. Our director's done a really good job at going to land events and finding uh, new recruits and reaching out to people. That's how I met him. I met him at a land event, and we talked for like a good hour, hour and a half. And overall, he's done a great job from building the program basically from scratch. Our teams are constantly improving. We have good practice schedules. Everything's going pretty well, and I'm very happy with how it's going.
Is college esports what you expected?
It's like half and half. I was definitely excited coming into it, and I still am happy in the college environment, but I also did realize a little bit that it's not completely about esports. That you're going to college also to get a good education. It's all about the area you're in as well. So that was kind of something I realized too. Like coming in as a first semester freshman, like of course a big reason you're going is for esports. You're on scholarship to play for the team, but you also have to realize like your first semester or your first year as a freshman is not going to be completely about esports. There's so much more to college than that.
What do you like the most about college esports?
I think overall my teammates, like compared to all the other colleges I got to try out with and practice with, like while I was in the recruiting process, Arcadia's just got some like our players are very um it's their personalities that I like the most, and they're very energetic, but it's also like a fun environment to be in.
What advice do you have for other students who want to play esports in college?
I would say definitely look at your options. I mean, if you put time into the game you're playing, you're good at it, like there's definitely going to be colleges looking at you. But I would say definitely a big thing is don't let esports fully take over your college search experience. It's definitely going to be a big part if like you're good at the game, you're going to get offers for it, but always like do your research on colleges and make sure you know it's the right school for you when you choose it.
And what advice do you have on approaching your parents about esports?
It was definitely it's definitely a lot harder with parents because they don't know too much about the esports scene. That's always the common thing. But as for my parents, it was they saw results. I've earned a little bit of money from some tournaments, and I was kind of young back then, so my dad didn't really realize until he was signing the check to cash in for a little bit of prize money. It wasn't too much, but obviously that was an eye opener for him. And when he saw how I played and how I was placing in like local tournaments, it kind of made it easier for my parents to realize that this could become a collegiate thing. And then spin definitely helped with that too. Spin's like the first event we went to was in Virginia, and some I got they got to talk to some spin staff as well, and they kind of explained how much the collegiate scene was growing and helped my parents to really understand that this could be a future for me.